The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, callers, and advisors on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved.
Coming up tonight, BPL's power crisis just got even worse. Now ZNS is off the air, well, for most of the day. Downtown businesses are shutting their doors because Bay Street was in darkness yesterday. And in Grand Key, residents are saying enough is enough. Also tonight, former Prime Minister and leader of the FNM, Hubert Ingraham, tells FNMs, find a leader who can win an election. What do you think Papa is saying? And who is he eyeing, perhaps? This is Beyond the Headlines, Week in Review Fridays. Good evening, I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas off air today after the generator that's been running for some 48 hours or so began smoking, causing the corporation's executives to make the decision to evacuate the building. Now, ZNS posted this afternoon an explanation of what's happening exactly at the corporation. And here's an excerpt about some of what they had to say. The Broadcasting Corporation is presently off air due to a technical issue following an incident at our facility this morning. Due to prolonged power outages in the area, the corporation has been operating on generation power for more than 48 hours. Although commercial power was restored last evening, an additional outage this morning made an additional strain. Shortly thereafter, fumes were detected inside the building, prompting the immediate evacuation of all staff. Our preliminary assessment indicates that the generator overheated, resulting in a pipe bursting and the release of fumes. Fire services were called, and as a result of course, you imagine an investigation happened. It picks up here. Unfortunately, this incident has impacted our ability to provide service to the public, and the ZNS network is currently off air. Now, that was this afternoon that this was released. But, you know, it really is just a lot. It is a lot that's happening with BPL. BPL started the week in the news. A national address was delivered by the Prime Minister to the nation on the state of BPL, where BPL finds itself in its attempt to continue with this energy reform, and also the unprecedented power outages marked by extreme heat that's been happening all summer long. I'm going to jump in right there. Before we get to what happened yesterday and even some portions of today in downtown and surrounding areas, including ZNS, as you all heard. But I'm going to jump in right there and bring in the Hot Topics panel just for a quick sort of, I guess, response and reaction to just how extensive the power outage is and the issues at BPL. It's now so widespread. I mean, whether it's in the middle of town, southern New Providence, and western New Providence that's been hit hard with the power outages, the other family islands, Houston, we have a problem.
Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you, Shanique. Obviously, this is getting too normal. It's a real problem. This almost sounds like on the brinks of collapse. It's become a part of everyday conversation here in our country. Everywhere you go, every business, every area you go into, the conversation is the power, the conversation is the energy system. Something comes to mind when I look at exactly what's happening on a daily basis with the multiple outages in multiple areas. I remember a few months ago when the U.S. invaded Venezuela, and then that oil that was supplied to Cuba, when Cuba started to have problems, we're beginning to look like what Cuba was having and still having. We just, something has collapsed. This whole thing that has been set up, the government need to relook at this. Somebody is not capable. Somebody doesn't have the qualifications all of this Bahama grid company with this transmission and distribution, something ain't working. What all you say, we heard the national address, we heard what you're doing and planning to do. At this stage, something straight up isn't working.
Yeah, good evening, Shanique. Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Bahamas. It's very sad that this is becoming the new normal for real. Like Ellington said, I heard that Garden Hills was off. I heard about the Zeta nesting today. I saw some notices in the group that I'm in. Rock Sound and the southern area of Eleuthera was off. We know about Grand Key. I mean, it's just everywhere. It's an apocalypse. And I've said that over and over again. It is an Armageddon that's going on with this electricity thing. And I'll reiterate again, people are getting paid. People have these big titles. People are getting a lot of money. And we need to get the problem fixed. Shanique, here's the thing. Go to Spanish Wells. From I was a little kid, I understood that Spanish Wells was on its own grid, had its own electricity company, right? They never have problems. I understand that if Spanish Wells goes off for 10 seconds, everybody runs outside because they think something, some global catastrophe has happened. Go to Spanish Wells. Instead of spending all this big money on overtime, go down there and talk to the Spanish Wells folks and ask them why they are able to keep Spanish Wells on all the time and so successfully, because we are having a serious problem in the Bahamas. There's no excuse, and we need to get it fixed and keep it fixed.
You know, for the last 20, 30 years, Spanish Well has been running on time. Our team visited that many times when we were in the chair. And it was always an outstanding plant where they service all the equipment on time. They don't allow things to get to the end of this line and try to kill you with overtime. I think it's disgraceful what has happened to the country today as a whole. I was told just this morning that some of the underlying power connectors, they don't know where they are. For example, it wasn't until the Rodney Bain building was demolished a few weeks ago that they found that one of the main conduits to Bay Street was under there. Then there was another instance where the government spent some $4 million putting a line from Blue Hills out to the point. Cost $4 million and could have been serviced right from that area. And that has happened now consistently throughout New Providence. Same thing happens with lines running from Clifton to come uptown. They can't find the lines. So they don't know where some of the substations, they don't know where the hell it is. You know, I don't think we need to appreciate that. You may say what you like about Pike, and Pike has been sold now to another company. Still has the name, but the persons who were running it sold as soon as they signed that contract with the government. They was in such a good financial position, they sold out. But the death of that gentleman caused us a lot of harm, because I think most of the workers at BEC saw an opportunity for them to make some drastic money. And if you could see, that's exactly what they did. Some heads got to go. I mean, this situation,
No question.
you can't run a company and there's no consequences with hurting the Bahamian people. They got to go. And those responsible for signing off on that overtime got to face the punishment associated with it. I don't care who it is, starting from the top to the bottom. The minister's not responsible for day-to-day running of BEC. That's how you pay him. It's said that the gentleman in charge of public relations takes home $120,000+ a month, a year. Doing what?
Who's chairman?
Doing what? I'm not talking about the fellow in charge of public relations, not the chairman. Taking this excess salary, these exorbitant
But do we need
and incapable people.
But Leslie,
got to be rid of.
Leslie, I know you have an issue with BPL salaries. I'm saying though, BPL is a corporation or a company that makes money. Daily, it makes money. It makes a lot of money, and if these are highly skilled, if these are highly skilled, they owe $500 million, but they still making that money. So I don't understand why it's not being paid off.
They make it and give it back to the fellas.
Exactly. They're paying people monthly hefty salaries and overtime and the rest of that. I'm saying if the executives at BPL are making good, healthy salaries, that's fine. Do the work. Get the work done. We need to hear from the chairman. We need to hear from the CEO. We need to hear from the chief operations officer. You all come out and talk.
You want to hear something so disgraceful? A lady called me yesterday. Her husband is my godfather, Miss Ferguson. Was crying. Said, Leslie, I'm here at the BEC counter. My light bill for last month was must see $2,060. See, I got it from my daughters. They gave us $1,000 to go pay the bill. She went there to pay it, and the lady told her, Miss, unless you get another $250, your light ain't going on. So I said, let me speak to her. Of course, she refused to speak to me. So someone else who I hired there, Walker, came to the phone and said, Mr. Miller, this is me. I say, Walker, long time, man. I say, could you please help this woman? He said, be happy to. Just showed you the meanness of them. They believe they own the... Now, here's a lady whose bill is $2,000. She got $1,000 to pay. And you tell her, if you ain't got a $250, you will stay off. That's the mentality that was what we was facing when we were there. That's why we had to get rid of many of them.
And this is a corporation that's providing
Owned by the payment people.
I can see there's providing. I can see there's providing these good
and that
services.
woman is 84 years old.
No.
84 years old.
Unacceptable.
And the person said, I don't want to talk to Mr. Miller. I want to know who it is.
We want to hear from Christina Alston, Tony Pratt, and Christy. What is Christy's name? What is Christy's name? Anybody could think of Christy's name as I go to this next story? Call it. When will it end? That's what we want to ask you all. The same three people I talk about. When will it end? When will it, and anybody else, because we can get to the overtime in a minute. But listen, that's the question business operators in the downtown area are asking as the power crisis deepens, disrupting operations and threatening sales. In fact, many people lost a lot of business yesterday, and I understand tourists were angry as well, coming off those cruise ships and walking downtown because many of the stores were closed or just standing up there scratching their head. Here's Jose Etienne with the story.
All the Howard Road was...
That's Christian Croughton with choice words for the prolonged power outage that has crippled parts of downtown.
Diabolical. It's ridiculous.
That's Christian Croughton with choice words for the prolonged power outage that has crippled parts of downtown Nassau since Wednesday afternoon. The outage has hit Diamonds International, where Croughton works, along with more than a dozen businesses across the tourist district, with some now counting the cost and lost sales.
4 hours for an outage, sure, but over 12? In the biggest city of Nassau, basically, the biggest moneymaker of Nassau.
As we walked through downtown, power was finally returning to some businesses nearly a day after the outage began. Others weren't so lucky.
It's too frequent. A couple weeks ago, we've had situations where we are constantly in and out of the building because of the constant outages. So it's inconvenient, and in 2026, this needs to stop.
Several remained without electricity and were forced to rely on generators just to keep their doors open. But after hours of continuous use, even those backup systems were being pushed to their limits. Crocs was among the stores closed, while the owner of a neighboring business told Eyewitness News he too was preparing to close because of the outage. Others tried to tough it out. We found workers finding themselves inside hot stores while trying to serve customers and keep business moving.
It's hot. That's the biggest issue right now.
And the problem appeared far more widespread than we saw downtown last week. Then, the Tourism Police Station and the Supreme Court were among those affected. This time, businesses across the commercial district were caught in the outage, including stores that rely heavily on the daily flow of tourists.
30-year infrastructure out of date, 30 years out of date for a modern society is diabolical. So no, I don't have any expectations. As a matter of fact, I feel like things are getting worse. I have never seen an outage like this in my life.
BPL says crews are carrying out critical repairs at the East Hill Street substation, which is believed to be at the center of the outages. The work is expected to take between 5 and 6 hours. The utility has apologized for the disruption, but for businesses that have already spent hours without power, some forced to close and others burning fuel just to stay open, the cost of this outage is already adding up. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Listen, I got the name, Anthony Christie, and so I'll repeat. Christina Alston, Tony Pratt, Anthony Christie, you are the most wanted people in the Bahamas because you owe us something. We need to hear from you all as a result of what took place downtown and other areas. Where again? You said Harold Road, the ZNS and so many other areas yesterday. You all, your thoughts about this? You saw the tourists walking around. You saw the people fanning in front of the tourists.
When is the Union Press going to give us our money back?
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. We can get to him.
Shanique, this is pathetic.
Who signed it though? Go ahead,
All of them.
It's pathetic. It's unacceptable. Nowhere in the world. No. We need to hear, like you called for them, Shanique. We need to hear from these people.
Yes.
We need to know whether you're up to it, whether you can handle it, where is the failure? Do you have the necessary skills in your arsenal? Do you have the necessary employees? What happened when we separate? What happened when we separate BPL and we got now Bahamas? What happened? What exactly took place? Something is not right. You see downtown, that's our economic engine basically. People are turned off. I mean, the shops are in darkness, look like midnight. It's unacceptable. The stories, we're done with the stories. We need results. We need things to happen. We need it to be fixed. We've had the Pike came in here and they brought in all those equipment. They were doing all that work. The Prime Minister talked about all of the new things that have been put in place. We're not seeing the results of anything.
What happened to the work that Pike was doing and did?
Where's the results? All we're hearing about this fail and that fail, and we're patching and we're repairing. This is supposed to be almost a new operation that we're dealing with.
Remember,
this is the reforming of our energy sector. This is not reformation. This is going back to the dark ages.
Pike's primary job was to get electricity from Clifton uptown with the overhead transmission lines. They're about 80% complete, so they're almost finished. The problem we have is distribution, and that's where the fellas from BEC comes in with the overtime. If it takes 10 minutes, it'll take 10 hours.
But BPL,
and that's how the guy
they are responsible for distribution, yes.
Yeah, that's how one man.
Not BPL.
BPL.
BGC is responsible for distribution.
Who the
BPL
hell
is responsible for generation.
Yeah.
The Bahamas Grid Company is responsible for distribution.
Okay, so is
Getting it to the
Bahamas
houses.
Grid Company
Bahamas
doing?
Grid Company.
Are they
That's a little
generating?
fat
That's
guy
why I
complaining.
question.
Say go on the beach.
But
the little
Shanique,
fat
you
half
remember,
American.
give
Go
a
to Liberty
second,
City.
you remember that the president of the union said on this show that the Bahamas Grid Company does not have employees with the skills, and they occasionally
And I
have to
believe him.
use BPL employees.
And he said
and that's where a lot of the overtime comes
And he
in.
said he get $8 million a month.
And exactly.
Shanique, look behind me, Shanique. This is what the Bahamas is. Right now. Right now.
What it is?
What the little brother
I
do?
was wondering what's going on.
Dolly house. That's a dolly house. See the dolly house behind me? The dolly house behind me is what the gentleman in the story described a couple minutes ago when he said it's diabolical that 30-year infrastructure is still being used. We are operating, and it pains me to say this. We look like this dolly house
So
right
that's
here.
how we do it.
No, Shanique.
Pocket, yes,
Listen,
and
Shanique.
Mario's.
See,
Don't talk.
this is the thing. Shanique, we have our Prime Minister came out the other day, right? I want the government of the Bahamas to succeed. The Prime Minister came out, took over the baton from the minister, and said he's responsible. Okay, we need the Prime Minister watch this thing unfold for the last couple of weeks, and we need more than what the Prime Minister gave us in the national speech the other night. We need more. We have BPL, we have BGC. What we can have next? BGCSE?
That's how it sounds to me, because that's what I thought they were talking about.
Listen, man. We need, if everybody getting paid, if everybody money going in their bank account, if everybody get their titles, why do we not have these problems being resolved? Here, Dolly House. This is us right here.
Listen to me. I want you to pull up that dolly house. Justin, pull that dolly house bigger, because let me tell you why I want that dolly house in front and center. Because when school open next week, and listen to me, what the dickens could be happening? I mean, I lying. When you say BGC, Howard, that was the first thing came to my mind. I said, hold on, we talking about BGC, examinations. What we talking about? All, whatever you all call it, all we want is this: KEEP, the LIGHT on. You understand that? Keep it doggone on. Listen, gentlemen, when we come back, you will just respond to what's happening in Grand Key. That's something that's been fumbling for a minute. The union president was here. We'll just briefly talk about that before we talk about the F&M. It's a lot this week, y'all. I don't know, Leslie.
Give us the money back?
I don't know.
Hey, fat boy, we need our money.
Beyond that.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel. And I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Uh-oh. Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like you can put on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! Damn! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, process you, and entertains you 24/7.
My name is Charles Wesley Rowe. My organic farm is Nice Layers Organic Farm. I have 230 birds up here. I give them fresh water, pumpkin, lettuce, cabbages, all the vegetables. Anything what I eat, they eat. Right now, we sell the eggs for $7 a dozen from Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, you can get 4 dozen eggs for $21. I'll be located on Jamaica Road, the western side, Silverstone Primary School.
Think you know a lot about money? Then prove it. What if one sound could win you big cash? Listen carefully. Then tell us exactly how much money went through the machine. One guess, one sound, one chance to win. Listen, guess, win. It's the sound of money. Brought to you by 103.5 The Beat. Powered by Island Lux Quick 5.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're still on BPL. We can't let it go, y'all. It truly is the most vexing issue this whole summer, maybe even before the summer, but certainly more pronounced in the last few months. BPL's Line Staff Union President Kyle Wilson appeared here on Beyond the Headlines on Tuesday evening. The issue there, the hefty overtime pay that only now we know it's a it's a $20 million in a single year in 2025 overtime pay for BPL workers. 20 million. I want, Leslie, you could get me on there. They hire it? Because I want to know if somehow you could work out.
I tell you what, I'll never go back there. Not in this lifetime.
I don't mind going back.
Maybe when I come back,
Let's talk and work something. I mean, say going back. I don't mind going. Let's talk and work something out. But listen, so they were paid this $20 million. Now, 3 of them, including Wilson, were paid some $600,000 in less than a year.
Wilson took home over 300 for himself.
Here's Wilson this week.
Hey, I keep hearing you're part of the fourth estate. And what disappoints me right now in this country is no one is doing the research. You keep saying BPL. BPL, I've repeated over and repeated on this show right now that BPL is no longer in charge of generation. It's in the hands of Bahamas Grid Company. They just sent out a press statement and say they just hired a new COO. Their CEO told you to go on the beach. No one vilifying him. Who is their leadership? Who are these people that we're giving $8 million a month of Bahamian tax money too.
So then who is ultimately responsible for when the lights go out right now? That's been happening for the last 2 months or so.
Bahamas Grid Company. BPL is no longer in the generation, and the BPL is only in the generation market in Nassau. In Nassau, Bahamas, the transmission and distribution is solely the responsibility of Bahamas Grid Company. You're mixing the apples with the oranges. Our leaders have spelled this out to the nation over and repeatedly for the past 2 years, and everybody is just pointing the finger at BPL, who's no longer in charge of generation.
So you're saying everything that this misery that the nation has been experiencing right for the whole summer is the responsibility and the issues that are happening with Bahamas Grid Company.
Absolutely. And not only that, Shanique, I've encouraged our skilled workers. You know, BPL trained me. I came in as an apprentice in 2006, and I trained for 3 years to become who I am today in the company, certified by City and Guilds. I received one of the awards for top apprentice. I got 97% on my trade test. I earned my way to the top. And so BPL trained its workers to work on its system. And not only that, they're internationally certified. Our workers, we've exported our linesmen to Jamaica to help restore Jamaica after the storms. So we are experts, but because of the color, maybe of our skins, we are not respected. Shanique, I can tell you for a fact, I know of foreigners, right? Because they're foreigners, they make $700 an hour. BPL pays $700 per hour. I probably make a little over 30, maybe close to 40.
Okay, then so let's go back to the overtime matter then. Let's go back to the... You all heard that? $700 an hour. Some people are working. Mind you, I know it's a highly skilled area. We know that. I'm not diminishing it at all. If you make $1,000 an hour, Bahamian or foreigner, again, what the vexing thing is, we are paying and dishing out all that money. And here it is, downtown, Harrow Road, east, west, south, other islands around this nation, continue. Grand Key, we didn't even get there. Grand Key's been in the dark since for over 2 weeks now, yes?
Absolutely, Shanique.
Over 2 weeks. It is vexing. You all, what your thoughts are about what the union president had to say? Jump in.
Shanique, let me go first. Yeah. Shanique, here's the thing, right? Like I said earlier in the week, Kyle Wilson did not sign off on his own overtime, and he didn't put the money in his bank account. However, Mr. Wilson, that doesn't absolve you or BPL from responsibility. Here's why. If you still making exorbitant amounts of overtime, you have work to do, okay? And if you don't have work to do, then they need to send you over to the BGC then, okay?
Exactly.
So you could do some work over there. Or don't pay the overtime. So everybody who is getting paid, sir, and everybody who has a working title with a job description under it has something to do. I am so sick and tired of everybody concerned with this electricity crisis, passing the buck and absolving their own selves of responsibility and holding everyone accountable. Let everybody not get paid until this gets fixed. Let everyone not get paid. Cabinet minister, prime minister, technical specialist, linesman, let chairman of the board, chairman of BPL, let everybody not get paid. See, you all want to get paid. You all are responsible for taking care of your families and getting paid. But you all don't want to be responsible for decreasing the misery and suffering index of Bahamians. That is a problem.
Shanique, the kind of money that I'm hearing going around is just crazy, $700 an hour. I mean, just for us, we paying that kind of money to be in darkness. We don't have to pay that. The Almighty God give us a whole, 12 hours of darkness every day. So we don't have to be paying all that money for darkness. But my thing is, and again, Howard, I hear you, but I cannot put this on the leader of the union, who's also a highly skilled person. Don't forget now. Hold on, don't forget now this whole contract. I followed this contract from when it was initially being put together. BPL employees was offered to transfer to Bahamas Grid.
And they refuse to go.
They refused to go because Bahamas Grid could not guarantee them certain conditions of their present
Like
working
excess
contract.
overtime.
Whatever it is, they did not go. The question remains today, does Bahamas Grid have the skill set within its employees that can handle the work that they're supposed to be doing? Is Bahamas Grid still having to come and get BPL employees?
Surely not, though. Surely not, because then Bahamas Grid is supposed to be one of these extremely highly skilled,
But they don't have the employees.
prepared entities who came in to help with this energy
They
reform.
were trying to get BPL employees
Yes.
to come over.
Yes.
They did not. So do they have these employees? Right now, for these overtime, is because they're using some of BPL employees. And so the question is, with the kind of money that Bahamas Grid is being paid, are they delivering? Are they delivering for the Bahamian people?
How much, Leslie?
I don't.
$8
It
million a
appears that this rests solely with transmission and distribution. I don't think, in my opinion, that Bahamas Grid is delivering what they have signed on to the Bahamas government for.
You know, this is a hell of a situation we find ourselves in, you know. I know we used to have minor problems compared to what is going on now. Between 212 and 217. We would be always bringing the fellas from BWSC Scandinavia that had all the expertise and had all the connections with countries in the Caribbean, especially Barbados and our neighbor here to the south. I don't understand how they can bring in a foreigner here at $700 an hour. It appears to me that these two small companies that they put together was put together for one reason: to put the load on BEC to produce the power. Fine. Then they had no expertise with delivering the power, and they didn't want to upgrade the transmission line to put it on them, so they sent it back to BPL. And then they used some of BPL senior staff who knows what they're doing to get it right. But what I don't understand, we had a lot of people retire from BEC. Must be about at least 100, maybe 150. Why didn't they go and get these people? Because the guy who now supposedly responsible for distribution and transmission, one of those companies claims that we should go on the beach, and he's a little self. You should stay on the beach. Must you the
He said that for real? Like,
what a damn Liberty City. He said it.
He said that?
He was serious.
This is Anthony Christie?
He said, no, not Christie, the foreign guy. This little Bahamian must be from Liberty City.
We had a foreigner
I say a foreigner, a little.
I blame
Said
us.
we should go on the beach.
I blame
because
us.
it'd be cool at night.
I blame us.
That's how triple he took it. Now, what was you need
But this
with
man,
Florida Power
this man, I was on vacation. I even hear when the person said that.
You lucky.
He should have been shut down the minute he uttered such foolishness.
We did that.
That we must.
But he laughed.
Oh, he back in the Bahamas. He back in the US.
Yeah. He's the man running things.
We is a joke. As
Okay.
I said, is it Anthony Christie? Who is it?
No, listen, Christie was in charge of fuel when we were there. That was Christie's job. Fuel maintenance was Christie's job.
Dario something.
Dario something. Older Liberty City.
Dario,
Okay.
CY, listen, you're
Older
way
Liberty City.
back out of the Bahamas because you are happy to be making your
Send
high
that dude
and
back to
handsome
Overlock.
six figures.
Okay.
Don't play around.
Send him back to
Don't go on
Overlock.
the beach. Why don't you go on the
Get
beach?
it
Let me finish the next comment. CYBH, carry your big head. That's what Shanique
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah, true. I like you. Anything I like you. Yeah. Carry your big head. Listen, you all. Listen.
Go back to Liberty City.
No, you gotta be talking some real stupidness. Go on the beach. Go on the beach for what?
Go
on the beach for what? That's an insult, sir. Stay out. And then how we get working here?
The beach is getting paid. Y'all getting paid. The beach isn't getting paid.
Yeah.
You're getting paid and doing foolishness, and you flipping living high on the hog and talking about go on the beach.
Yeah, that's what he said.
To be
Go on
cool.
the beach.
No,
Totally
They'd be cooler there at night.
Be happy I was on
Electricity
vacation.
on the
And
beach,
please resurrect that story, Justin, if you all could find that. Let's put him back out there. Let's
Yeah,
flesh
he said
him.
that.
Let's flesh him out.
He was serious, too.
No, I'm sure he was serious. Well, then we should have shut him right down. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram says the FNM must find a person within the organization who can inspire the electorate to get them to believe his or her message, to make them feel inspired and hopeful, and also support that leader to be elected as the next government of the Bahamas. Here's Mr. Ingram at an F&M Legacy event this week.
Simply stated, the public did not like what we offered. Now, we may disagree with the public, but they are the ones who make the decisions. They don't like what we offered. So let's get busy preparing to win the next. Let's go in search of and let's find all those F&Ms who strayed or gone silent. Bring them who scattered to different places and unite for us to win. Bring back their children and their grandchildren and bring others, new people, into the party. Except one day. You have to inspire people to want to be with you. You can't force them to be with you. Whitfield was a damn good man, but he couldn't win. Isaac was a good man, he could not win. He did not win. And they decided themselves, that they could not win. They looked for somebody who could win. Your job is to find who could win for you. Whoever that is.
Listen, you all, it's always exciting to hear. And you know what, Mr. Ingram, thanks. We needed a you right now to just distract us from all this BPL madness. Talk again. Why don't you talk again tonight so we could Monday look at it again? But listen, you all, what was happening? What is Mr. Ingram saying? Because you have a Michael Pintard in the seat. Michael Pintard, who is a leader of the Free National Movement, went into the last general election, continues to be vocal. He talked about BPL just this week. He sent out a video that was a prepared package, put it out there for the public. So he's speaking on stuff, he's active, but I don't know if Mr. Ingram feeling Pintard.
Nobody listens to him. That's the problem. And Mr. Ingram knows that. Who would listen to Pintard except Pintard? Please, go ahead, gents.
Yeah, Shanique, I'll start this one off again, I guess. So let me say this first and foremost. I respect former Prime Minister Ingram. And when the people of Central and South Lutra back in 2010, 2011 told him that an unknown graduate student over in Florida they wanted to bring back home and be their candidate in the 2012 election, he accepted that, and he was almost single-handedly responsible for the birth of my political career. And I must give him kudos for that and being a great prime minister. As of late, though, Prime Minister Ingram has really been interfering in some political spaces where I think he should be a statesman now.
Wow.
Here's the issue, Shanique. He started off saying we, and then he ended up saying you. So he helped in that election. He is partially responsible for the loss that Mr. Pintard faced, but now he is putting Pintard out there and saying, y'all gotta get rid of him. Okay?
So
that's exactly what is happening here.
So Howard, as we go to the break, and we will pick up right after the break, gentlemen, Howard seems to be saying, Leslie and Ellington, that Mr. Ingram, how you could kick Pintard now under the bus when you were in the driver's seat all this time.
All of them was there.
Don't absolve
Everybody is
yourself.
responsible for this loss.
Well,
everybody. It's not just Pintard. Now, Pintard is the leader, so we have to accept responsibility. But don't throw rock and hide your hand like everybody didn't have a role to play in the election loss of the Free National Movement. It's not just Pintard, but he is the leader.
So should Pintard remain the leader, Howard, as we go to the break for real?
Well, the convention has to prove whether or not he is worthy to stay, but it was a significant loss. It was a significant loss, and you got to ask yourself, who is there to replace him? Who is going to replace him and give them a chance in 2031?
Leslie and Ellington will have the answer to that right after the break. Stay close.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Running out of space? We've got room for that. Welcome to Skyline Storage, your trusted self-storage solution. Skyline Storage offers units from 5x10 to 10x30, climate controlled or standard dry. Perfect for home or business. Located in Westfield Commerce Park, Western New Providence. Your belongings stay safe with gated access and 24/7 surveillance starting at $175 a month. Reserve, pay, and move in online. No phone calls, no paperwork. Visit SkylineStorage.com. Skyline Storage. Storage made simple.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you all tuned in. It is Week in Review Fridays, and man, are we reviewing a lot. Speaking of, we just before the break looked at former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram speaking to FNMs, telling them, listen, hold up, man, guys, let's come back now. It's been several months. The election already happened. The Bahamian people said, nope, rejected you all, but it ain't over. Let's find someone who can give that good message, image, somebody who can resonate with people and bring everybody back, even those who've left the party, and go on to victory. Leslie and Ellington Howard said, Mr. Ingram, you trying to like kind of just throw it out on them when you were responsible for the loss. But let's talk about within the FNM right now. Michael Pintard is still leader. What is Mr. Ingram saying about a Pintard leadership moving forward, you think?
Shanique, in my opinion, I would not take the comments of Mr. Hubert, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram, as directly an attack on Michael Pintard. I think I have said it my own self. The Free National Movement, away from the personality of a Michael Pintard, it needs to come together as an organization and think and plan its way forward. It not need to be centered, even the discussion doesn't even need to be centered around Pintard. Pintard is presently the leader, fine, but the organization itself need to regroup itself. What's going on with us? What's happening? Where do we headed? How can we bring ourselves to present ourselves to the Bahamian people as a viable option for the next government in waiting? What Mr. Ingram said, I said a long time ago about those persons that were disenfranchised. I think those persons were discounted on the need for them and the effect of them. You know, all of those persons that for whatever reason, even the faction of former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, you are not to callously cast aside
Why do you suppose-
long-standing members.
But why do you all suppose that a minister, for example, continues to be ignored when FNMs have major events like this and call names of former leaders? His name never comes up.
Because when you don't understand the impact that that had on the party, that had a tremendous impact. It's time that somebody say, listen, man, I think you were wrong. You feel that we were wrong. Come, let's sit down. Let's try. You are FNM. We are FNMs. All those FNMs that went across this country campaigning against their own party. Where is the unification process that would bring all those persons together? Once those persons scattered, persons who are on the outside looking in going to look at you and say, well, if that one who was so supportive of you, that one's, I'm going to look elsewhere. And that is exactly what is happening and what continues to happen within the Free National Movement. The organization needs to reorganize itself, put out a clarion call to all of its supporters. Let's rebuild. Let's prepare ourselves for the next general election.
I think most FNMs still see Mr. Ingram as the titular head of the FNM. He was the one who brought them to victory in 92, 97, 2007. And I think his goal, his primary goal in this election cycle was to make sure that Dr. Minnis is where he is today, that he will not have any tangible, meaningful contribution to make to the Free National Movement. Now that that has been done, I don't think he's looking out for Pintard. I think he's just calling a spade a spade. Remember, we had successor Wallace Whitfield, God bless him. Someone was near and dear to me. He had the charisma, he had everything, but he didn't have the wherewithal to go up against a giant like the late great Sir Lyndon Finland. The same thing with the other leader that they had. Didn't have that personality to bring people around him. But I think what hurt the FNM more than anything else, that Mr. Ingram alluded to, was the fact that the present leader was so vicious toward his own comrades in what he did to Minnis. Total destruction. But what hurt me more than anything is what he did to the deputy leader for no reason, and the Minister of Works. Was uncalled for. You know, the viciousness that he displayed to women people, it scared the voters, it scared the women. As Dave and I went door to door and talked to people, they feared him that if he was to come to lead the Prime Minister, he would have destroyed many lives in this country because of the viciousness that was embedded in him. And Mr. Ingram realized that this guy can't carry the ball no more. He can't take us into victory. Someone has to replace him. Who's that going to be? They have already started attacking Dr. Andre Rollins. That's some faction of the FNM. If they have a convention, Rollins should probably come out on top. He's charismatic. He's very knowledgeable. He's fearless. And, you know, he has his own drawbacks. But in the FNM now, he is their future. Who else is going to step to the plate? See, leaders are brought into where they are by circumstances that forces them to either step to the plate, step now, or remain in the back. Agreed. He stepped when he had to step. Agreed. And that's what's going to happen. And I love to see the deputy leader, the same lady who's like the board of me, to be his deputy. That's the tools that's going to take.
The lady that you bothered?
Well, I didn't bother. I just called her a little girl. I'm much older than I got a right, if you're young, to say
yes. So Leslie is saying he wants Michaela Barnett Ellis to be deputy.
I'm telling you, no one in the FNM now has the charisma that is within Dr. Rollins. The appeal to the public. Mind you, that's the FNM public. The difference between the FNM and the PLP has always been a margin of no more than 6%, you know. But they didn't vote. Only 36% of people voted in the last election. So again, the FNM stayed home because of the viciousness of the current leader towards people who they cared for. Dr. Minnis was one of those persons. And other members of the party. Look what he did to his own deputy, Cartwright. Didn't even put Cartwright in the Senate. That hurt people. Why was he not in the Senate? Why? There was no rationale. He decided, this guy coming for my job, so I'm not going to give him anything. Desmond Bannister, as good as gentleman if you could have in this country, a nice human being that helps people. He decided Bannister may be a threat to him, so you banish him. But he now banished himself. He got to step aside and move on. Do you know he needs the money, the $73,000 a year that he gets? He got a police escort in Freeport, police car in Freeport as well as Nassau. He got to drop those things and move on. And that's what Jingle was talking about. It is time for him to move on and let someone else take the mantle and run for the F&M. Simple as that.
Shanique?
Hey, Howard.
Yeah, see, so Shanique, listen, I don't disagree that there needs to be a referendum on Mr. Pintard's leadership. He led the party in the general election. Former Prime Minister Ingram and the other band of merry men and women all complimented Mr. Pintard in his effort to try and become the Prime Minister. So all I'm saying is, yes, referendum on him, but don't try to cast all the blame on him, because all of y'all contributed. Leslie, I think you understand how profound of a statement you made earlier when you said former Prime Minister Ingram made sure that Hubert Minnis is where he is now.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
But that's part of the problem for the F&M.
Yes, it is.
Because what Prime Minister
Yes,
Ingram should have been doing was trying to make sure that Brave Davis goes home where Minnis is.
Because
not
Dr. Minnis was disrespectful to Mr. Ingram,
all of them
and he
was
paid the price.
supposed to be on the same
But
team.
that distraction and that continues to exist, Howard, that Leslie just said about Dr. Minnis was being disrespectful. That right there, that little thing, that sort of stick in the mud that exists within the F&M is a part of the F&M's
But it's more than one.
It is.
I agree with
And
him.
it's more than one
stick in the mud.
Yes.
Because see, like Leslie said, Pintard was mean to Minnis. But Ingram was mean to Minnis. Minnis was mean to Ingram.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You see what's
All
going
of that-
on
all
here?
of that
What's
foolishness.
going on is the internal strife is they are killing themselves from within. That is the major problem of the Free National Movement. You're supposed to be fighting Brave Davis.
That's right.
But Minnis fighting Pintard fighting Minnis fighting Ingram. Who's your enemy? Leslie, you played basketball in high school, I understand, right?
But let us not forget one thing, you know.
Something, Leslie.
Nobody can get between.
The basketball court, if you run down the basketball court when you was playing basketball in high school in Miami, right? If you run down the basketball court to go score a layup, and your teammate try to block your shot, you wondering if he going crazy. Why is your teammate trying to prevent you from scoring?
And bear in
Why
mind
is your
that
teammate trying to prevent you from scoring?
yeah, and bear
That's
in
what's
mind
happening in the
that no one is going to get involved in the love that Prime Minister Ingram, Prime Minister Christie, and Prime Minister Davis shares with each other.
Yeah.
They were partners. They may have their disagreements, but when push comes to shove, they will come back as a unit. Not that Mr. Ingram didn't want Brave Property to get beat, but he got no problem with Philip Brave Davis. That's his friend. And he said, if you put this joke against my friend win, I'm happy for my friend. But he has a legacy that he was the one who took them to victory. Now, yeah,
Mr.
there's...
Ingram proved that.
You know,
Remember many
yes.
times on the stage in from last by-election straight up to the
Yes,
election,
yes.
he said, listen, man, if Brave is if I'm the papa, if Brave is the daddy, he's the daddy. Stop trying to
That's my
major,
jack.
stop trying to major on minor things
That's my
and get
jack.
out there and win. I mean,
Exactly.
he's proven that.
Win on your own.
Exactly, he's proven that.
Win on your
He's
own.
absolutely proven that. Well, you all, let's grade the F&M's performance as opposition, as a newly re-elected opposition in since May. How are they performing?
Shanique, I really don't think that. I've heard the opposition address a number of issues, a number of topics. They've made efforts. I don't think they have the air of the Bahamian people.
No, that's for damn sure.
Even in the face of all of the disgruntledness
Yeah.
that the Bahamian people have of the administration with the power, the
No
energy,
resignation.
and all the other stuff, I don't think they necessarily tuning into what the Free National Movement is saying at this point in time.
Go ahead, Chief.
Well, Shanique, I'll just give him a flat B right now. And the B
A
is
B?
because the B, yeah, a B. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll give
They're
him a
addressing
flat
the
B.
issues.
I'm giving them a flat B because I agree. They are addressing the issues. They are speaking to them. Now, the problem of why they can't get higher than a B plus or an A is because sometimes the F&M addresses issues with the art of misdirection because they're going after one thing, but they should really be prioritizing and going after something else. And so we saw that, well, we were talking about after the election, but we saw that before the election, and we'll continue to see it, but we're continuing to see it after the election. And then some of the stuff that they do, whether you're hitting the right issue or not, if you don't have the right people in opposition speaking to that issue at that particular time, with the zest and zeal that's necessary to get the Bahamian people to say, you know what, the opposition's politics is really making sense right now, then it's still going to fall flat. So just merely addressing the issue isn't enough. Are you being practical? Is it effective? And are you addressing the top thing that's the priority right now that the Bahamian people want addressed?
There has been no fundamental change in the push with the FNM leadership. He says the same thing. Oh, you know what he's going to say every time? He's going to criticize you just to criticize you. And let me give you a good example. We know that the excess $20 million of our money from our public treasury that BEC workers took from us, he sided with them. He didn't even say what he said. It's the government fault. And that's his problem. The Bahamian people say, no, it ain't the government fault. We need to have those people made account of our money. But what he said, it's these little petty things that he says turns people off. He's never with the people. He's always against the PLP. This ain't no PLP matter. This is a matter where some people got to be held accountable for our money. The guy who was on the president took home $228,000 of our money and saying, don't blame me. Go after the guy who got $12 million.
He said, listen, Kyle Wilson said, and we didn't get to this, Kyle Wilson said, excuse me, leave the union out of this. It is BPL's management who are responsible for that $600,000 plus dollars. And so, gentlemen, as we look toward the new week, after this weekend, we want to see exactly who will be made to answer for just 3 people making in excess of $600,000 and $20 million in overtime in 1 year. We'll be watching you all. We absolutely watching.
They're finishing their new apartments right now.
What they doing?
A couple of them just finishing their new apartments.
Airbnb. I tell you, go ahead, brothers. Listen, I thank you very much. Leslie Miller, Ellington Ferguson, Howard Johnson, thank you all so much. I tell you that. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you all for tuning in all week long, including tonight. I absolutely enjoyed having you here. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. A blessed weekend, everyone.
I'll see you when you got over there.